What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mr. Robert Detoff.
Hello.
Mr. Just One.
Yeah, what's happening?
And Mrs. Skullface. And tonight we are going to continue with another collection critique. You know the routine, check your feelings at the door. But if you want the uncut conversation, you need to go onto Patreon, where you can learn all about how s'mores is still kicking around the old Robert household. But more on that for the Patreon folks. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. And tonight we're going to start with, I'll be honest, I know this gentleman, but I do not know how to pronounce this name. MDK Ley. I'm not sure. And we got some Detoffs with some DC stuff. So I have mixed feelings about this. So the Detoffs, he has 1/12 scale figures in them, and I think for the most part, they do not work in there. With one exception, I think that the Batman, Robin, Dark Knight Return shelf with the comic book in the back, I think that shelf works.
Yep.
And the
I think
rest
the one
of
above it's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but it doesn't work.
But everything still needs to go up another couple inches.
Yep, and you need to get them off the floor. You need to light them. Business as usual.
They need lights.
I like the Batmobile on top with the Alex Ross Justice League behind it. I think that works. It's just not enough to sell it.
I feel like that only works because of the angle, though, that you're looking at it.
Maybe. But it is an art piece, I think, on the wall.
The Joker.
Oh, right. Yeah, it is. You see the shadow, so it's on a frame.
Yeah. Speaking of art, he did one of those like social media art prints of like the multiple pictures lined up that's like huge of the Millennium Falcon from episode 7.
It's cool.
And it looks cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I was waiting to see what you were going to say, but I don't think it looks bad.
Yeah, it looks
What
good.
looks bad is its placement in relation to the shelves, though.
Yeah, it should be centered with the shelves. That's fair.
That's what looks bad. Like this
Yeah,
dude's
but
got a
you
lazy
can't-
eye.
You can't really see.
No, I think it still needs to be centered.
She tried. She can't save it. Maybe if you were just and I know it's a pain because you've already hung it and it's a pain and it probably was very meticulous to get it done. But maybe if you spread them out,
That'd be cool looking too.
you know, to
I think
cover
it's
the
just a thing, you
wall.
gotta be careful. Right.
You know,
It looks like he probably centered the picture in the room and not in relation to the display. That's what happened, because that Boba Fett is in the corner and he didn't want to put the picture all the way in the corner because then it would be off center in the room itself. But then I don't know, man, you got to move your display over. You got to figure this out.
Yeah, this is like the bottom part looks fine and the top part looks fine, but the bottom part doesn't look right with the top part.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I think these shelves that you're using for the Star Wars figures are cool. They do need lights. I think everything just needs to be
it needs
lit
to be,
up. It looks kind of dark.
But
then I feel like it kind of just gets progressively worse.
Then it starts to fall apart. And then we start to deal with the
Are they legends?
the old
It's like DC, like.
yeah, like the Nona and the just getting started and the figures, I'll say this, the figures are posed and the layout of the figures is nice. It's the furniture. This is a furniture issue.
I think it's the wood too. Like if you're going to keep this big, tall bookcase, man, I would paint that thing white or black.
Yeah, and I think it probably would. I mean, it's simple enough. I think you probably could.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what would be a good paint? Battery acid.
I think you're trying a bunch of different stuff. And in the midst of trying stuff, I think you have landed upon some things that work. I think the trick is now to identify what is working and then extrapolate that and abandon the rest. That stuff with the comic book with the 2 figures in front of it, that looks great. The stuff with the art on the wall looks great. The Star Wars layout of the shelves looks great. The figures on your brown just getting started layout, great. Posing, great. Furniture, awful.
Right.
Etc. So like, and even like the wood grain. Like you got like the blonde wood grain for the 2 pieces of furniture, and then like the more cherry wood grain for the other piece of furniture. It's like, I get it. It's probably like you got this piece from here, you got that piece from there. You know, your aunt gave you this, grandma gave you that, and you're making it work, but it doesn't work, right? I think this black furniture that you got for your Star Wars stuff, I think you bought that. I think you put together that area, and it shows. This other stuff looks piecemealed.
I mean, look, though, you know what bothers me, though, to the left of that black display are boxes. It's like, move your over and move those boxes.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you're limited on space or you're limited on furniture, then you may have to forget the idea of displaying everything together. Like I'm going to have DC here and Marvel here, and you just start mixing matching stuff. Like I think right. Does it make sense to have Star Wars characters next to Marvel characters? No, but if you put the right characters next to each other, it could still look cool, even though it doesn't make sense.
You move these Hot Toys Star Wars into the DTOF along with stuff like the Batman and Robin with the comic book behind it, and now you have a more better displayed DTOF.
Right, or like the Ant-Man on or maybe it's Wasp, but the Ant-Man on the ant, like flying because it's so big, like just put that somewhere where it just takes up the right space. So I think for you, it's just about putting things where they need to fill up the space and make it look interesting versus keeping everything grouped together.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. This is Benson, and Benson has a bachelor vibe.
That's it.
Whoa.
All right. Look at you, Strangers in the Attic. Is it Flowers in the Attic? What's the movie?
So overall, I like this.
He vacuumed for you, Bobby.
Overall, I like this. I have some nitpicks, but I like how dark it is. Like the ceiling is painted and all that, but he's got the spotlight lighting up at the top of the ceiling. I dig that. The DTOFs are off the floor. The DTOFs are lit. I like that.
Yeah, but
and
so here's my thing.
Pretty well spaced. You know what I mean? Some of them are not high enough.
Yeah, some of them don't take up the vertical space.
Yeah, but
the shadow that each shelf is casting is weird.
That might be a photograph thing. I don't know.
It could be. I think the towers of power, as I'm going to call them, is the walls of DTOF look fine, but I think the two against the door, where it's like an A-frame for the ceiling, don't necessarily work.
I don't mind
that. A bomb shelter?
No, I just think it's attic space that's pitched.
With a door? Like, that's a door to the outside.
It does look like an exterior door.
Oh, maybe it's like a top of a garage type thing.
Is he in a barn?
I don't know. But I think that if you look at that picture just with the DTOFs on both sides of that door, the DTOF on the right, he really does make an effort to take up the whole space with most of them, with the exception of that lower left-hand one that's like the blue jet. But if you look at the ones on the left, the third row down of each has those jets sitting on the ground, and those fall flat. But
right.
You know what I mean? But the rest of it kind of sit right. I'm okay with this. I do think the lighting is peculiar in terms of the shadows it casts, but I also think it's one of those things where if you were in that space, it wouldn't bother you. It'd all make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, but Bobby, he displays his jet with all its accessories.
Yeah, and I don't think he needs to. I think that the accessories are just the tip of the iceberg with the problems of that shelf. It's more so about getting that jet turned upright. He did the same thing on the opposite side with that blue jet. It's facing straight up and down, and that takes up the space. It has a presence. It works.
I think you can still do that and keep the jet accessories. I think there's something too. That may be the one instance where it works. I feel like displaying a jet with all the accessories kind of seems right to do.
He's doing it he's showing a scene of loading the weapons. You know what I mean? That's apparently the scene, but it's falling flat.
Yeah, I think overall the majority of this works really well.
It's a nice space, though. I'd hang out here.
It's a real nice space.
Yeah, the space is good. I think he's blacked out the back of the DTOFs.
I don't know if it's that or just the walls. Maybe, yeah.
I think he has.
Fabric.
Yeah, dude, I think he has.
It gives that, old school portrait photos. Yeah. It's it really works.
It's like school photo backdrop, but that food.
And then that little desk seems a little weird to me, but I get it if you got to have a little place to work.
Yeah, but how? The computers are where your legs go.
Yeah. Yeah, something's a little weird about all that on that wall, but I guess what else are you going to do is a little ass wall, he
has a computer desk somewhere else.
Yeah, I think on the first photo, I just think that stuff just hey, this is where we put it. Look, you put a lot of thought into this room, so the bones of this place are awesome, and I think now you just got to kind of tweak it and play with it a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're on to something.
Right.
You've got a good spot. You just got to iron it out, but yeah, everything you're doing is working. It's just continuing to kind of see it through. I love the kind of ceiling, that I-beam across with the lighting. Mm-hmm. I think that's so classy.
And it's that's the rich wood off the black or the dark gray looks really good. Yeah, no, the room is definitely vibey.
Yeah.
You just got to make the shelves vibe with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have any complaints really. Next one is Vincent. He's a busy little bee.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby loves these shelves. Oh, yes. I know he loves them, but he doesn't like what they've done with them.
Exactly. I don't hate these like off center kind of like it's organized chaos when it comes to like the shelf layout, but everything on these shelves is so well laid out like it belongs on a not chaotic shelf that it doesn't blend for me. The figures are well laid out. Like there's risers, they're all posed, like you care about all this stuff. It's obvious, but it's just too much.
Right. Like zoomed in on each individual shelf is really cool, but then when you zoom out and look at the whole thing, you're like, holy shit. It's like that. What was that poster or that artwork that they did for like the 100th anniversary or whatever? It was like every character drawn in around like the 100, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of.
Well, you know what's weird to me? Look at the fourth photo. I don't think he realizes it, but he's like posed Optimus Prime to be like the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, yeah.
I know. You know what a big problem here is? It's a lot of chug. It's a lot of chug. That's problematic, man.
I don't think it's problematic. I think it's just a lot of everything. So like if you look at the chug shelf that he did with like the movie stuff, like that's well laid out. Like it all looks purposeful. Every kind of character has its own little place to shine.
Oh, but you know what? His wife had a hand in this display.
How so?
I think it's the 6th photo in.
I see it.
Oh, with the fireplace. Yeah. So this fireplace is it's too much. It's on the floor. Like I'm okay with the Ark and I'm okay with Omega being on the floor to flank it, but everything else in front of it, like that stuff's got to go. The G.I. Joe jets have got to go. The Sharkticons, Quintessons, all that stuff has got to go. You can have the 2 big robots next to it. Everything else has to go.
Hold on a minute. See the blue jet? That is the X-Men jet. That is a transformer that turns into a robot version of Cyclops. I know because Robert bought it for me for Christmas last year.
Well, it's got to go. I know it's got to go.
So it definitely got to go.
You're okay with the river rocks that say believe, wisdom, hope, love, faith, truth?
So that's not my bag, but I get
healing crystals.
That's not how I do business, but I get that wifey had a hand in that, and if that makes her happy, then cool. What I take more issue with is all of the just random toys on the floor.
I agree.
And yeah, I find this wall of toys just overwhelming.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. I get what you're going for, and every shelf independently kind of looks good, but when you look at them all together, it's too much.
And I think the shelf is fine. It's just...
Yeah. It's just the sum of its parts.
I just imagine this guy like showing his wife like, oh, they finally did my thing. Like, let's listen to it. And just hoping for the best. And him just being all defeated, and now she's like, now I got to take care of him all weekend.
I got to take these little rocks out the fireplace.
I also think on this big wall shelf, you can't, like, the outside little bump outs are not supposed to be shelves. So, like, the toys need to stay inside the box.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not be on the outside.
It's too far to the corner as well. It's too jammed in there. It shouldn't go further along the wall than the fireplace comes out.
I bet you a door opens up right there.
Good, let it. I hope someone slams it open.
Yeah, it does look like it's like all crowded up in there. Yeah, this is like, so look, so you want my starter pick of advice? Get the television out of there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. It doesn't seem like you need it. Like it's the way it is in the corner just seems like it's like an extra TV that you have.
Yeah, why isn't it over your fireplace?
I know.
Why have a Marvel poster there, not your television?
Put a more complete, finished idea of a display space in that L-shaped area.
You have this textured
maybe some art. Maybe some art.
Maybe a little bit of art, Robert.
You see the textured wallpaper? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he puts brick wallpaper over his brick walls, so when people touch it, they go, "Wow, it feels real."
I think Robert's right, though. I think if you did put the TV where that Marvel, just where the Marvel poster is, and put the Marvel poster above where the TV went, it'll fit, it would make more sense. Even if you're not using the TV, it would just look better.
Or just get rid of the Marvel poster.
That too.
Or keep the Marvel poster and get rid of the TV. That's actually my preference. All right, last one for the night. This is Stopformers.
Whoa!
He's got some of Robert's buddies there on his little computer desk.
Stop!
Oh, stop!
Stopformers.
Oh, the keyboard's wild.
Yeah, this is.
I don't understand what I'm looking at here.
My man,
you only have one hand.
Hold on, hold the phone. Stop the press. My man's got a shop vac in his display space.
Yeah, you know what that's for.
Third photo in, you can tell in the reflection he's recently had company.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The third photo in.
Third photo in.
Little story to tell.
Oh, a little wrinkled bed there.
A little wrinkled inflatable mattress.
So I do think that little shelf above his TV with the Decepticon leaders plus Astrotrain, that's well done. That's well laid out.
Right.
You know, no issues there.
What's up with the hole in the ceiling?
Oh, I know why there's a hole in the ceiling, Jisk.
Hit me with it.
Where he gets fed.
The wardrobe closet didn't fit in the room, so he cut the drywall out to put the closet in.
Maybe he's doing a build-in. I'm gonna give him credit. Maybe he's building it in there, and he's gonna put some molding there. Or as Robert would say, molding in there.
Why would you do that? Didn't you?
Because
measure?
you don't know what it's like to build that and then stand it up and fit.
Dude, look at
You just start crying.
Look at go to the picture with the closet with the roof. See the two flashing lights. Zoom in with the two flashing lights, and look at the smoke alarm just hanging from the ceiling.
Oh my God!
I feel like this is a reno. We're in the middle of a reno here. A lot of renovation. Yeah, because look, he's got the wood. This guy's building something. He's building.
I think he was just cutting a hole in his ceiling.
You shouldn't have submitted this yet. You're not.
You got a cat. You should have definitely cleaned up the litter box.
Oh, I can smell this house.
Stop.
Oh, there's a turd in the litter box.
Robert, you're the only one.
Look at all the litter all over the floor.
You're the only one that looked at that.
But there's litter all over the floor next to his bed. That's next to his bed. Oh,
dude, there's what? If you keep going, like it just gets weirder in here. Why? There's like a KitchenAid mixer on the floor. Dude, look at the big photos.
You're right. There is a KitchenAid mixer.
Yeah. What's underneath this? He's using the Bible to hold up that chair.
Look at that backpack. He's got his kid's backpack that he carried in lovingly for his kid.
What is that piece of furniture that's next to the wood panel trim that looks like something you would keep like a vampire in?
No, that looks
like an old school record player to me. Like you would open that top and it would be the record player and you keep your records below.
That's a fan behind the egg next to a fake plant.
I don't know. I like this rose that's up in the corner. Man,
oh, look!
I love the stuff where we just stop looking at the figures and just start looking at the weird shit.
Yeah, so look, here's my initial advice. Stop playing video games. Whatever you're doing on this computer is distracting you from having a successful space. Unplug that computer, stop playing video games, and start working on your house. It's unacceptable. It's a fire hazard. It's dangerous. I'm speaking on behalf of your safety.
What, Robert?
Look at the photo with the photo with the old school record player. It has a crank on it, by the way. Next to it, you see, I think that's Jazz hanging from a tether.
It is. Well, it's the grappling hook.
I know it floats your boat, but I'm going to raise you a buzzsaw
fishing line.
I see him.
She loves it now.
Yeah, I'm going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt that he's working on something here.
He should have worked on.
No, that's up to the rafters.
Yeah, but look at the wood and stuff around it.
No, there's no wood. No.
Yeah, next behind the shop vac.
Behind the shop vac.
I don't know, man. You keep your ceiling. You keep your ceiling when you have a built-in,
dude.
Well,
you know, and I imagine this is sleep. You don't sleep next to a litter box with a turd in it and litter everywhere.
Yeah, this dude lives a wild lifestyle, man.
He does pose things.
Yeah.
What's that black? What's that patterned black explosion next to the wicker dresser on the floor?
Wicker dresser.
Past towards the viewer. You see the litter box? What is that?
I don't know. What I like is that cat's just in there pissing, just licking the wall sockets, dude.
And look, those wall sockets don't have plates on them.
So take some of the money that's in this jar underneath the TV and just hire somebody to fix this.
Wait, there's money in a jar too? Oh my God, there's money in a jar.
At least $1.
And he's got a little piggy bank next to it.
Oh man, I feel like I don't know, what's underneath. Oh, dude,
what's in the dresser?
But dude, you're doing all this renovation. You got fiberglass insulation everywhere, just all over these figures.
Dude, and then this thing on the back of his wall, is that his art? Did he hang his art up on the back of the door with the black hole and the pink?
Yes.
Yo, this dude is not okay.
There's no covers on any switch or outlet anywhere in this room.
Yeah,
it's just madness. This is what I imagine the inside of Robert's mind looks
like this dude is like, no, I don't need outlet plates and I don't need a ceiling, but I am going to have this one little pedestal with these movie Bayformer bots perfectly posed and set up.
You know what? I'm going to really take time to customize this keyboard so it's red and blue and yellow buttons, but I'm not going to bother fixing the hole in my ceiling.
I'm going to build these Gundams. Oh, Bobby is gonna love this. I know, but he tried to show you something. It's on his shelf, and Bobby didn't notice, and he did this to get Bobby's favor.
If you look at the backpack that's on the floor in front of the green chair, right below it is like a swimming trophy. I guess he's like, what is going on?
Where?
I mean, the jeans in here are small, so I don't know if it's.
I don't know if it was like a kid's room that then
ain't no kid.
The dad is renovating it.
You think the kid bought a giant closet and cut a hole in the ceiling?
A giant closet.
And he's living with
Dude,
Whiskers the cat.
Just be like,
do you think next to his bed?
Do you think that they were like, hey, look, we're going to put this closet and we're going to do this whole build-in? Or do you think it was like, we bought this thing, doesn't fit, we'll cut a hole in the ceiling, great, now we got to fix that, and it's just snowballing into a bigger problem?
I think so.
I think that's it. Now I have Exhibit B to support your theory. This is how my man hangs drapes, curtains. Look at that. He's like, I'm going to use drywall screws and rip him out of the wall.
A rose is still a rose.
Try 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to put those drywall screws in, and he's just ripping them out of the drywall.
Look, fix your space, man. Clean it up. You're living in a fire hazard, and we care about your safety. So get your life together.
Limes,
chicken dust.
How about a snowball? Just a snowball. A
Maryland
snowball.
I want to see a closet that doesn't quite fit in a room, so the ceiling's cut out.
I've seen it.